In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Hakase GW15C fountain pen. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about the pen coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. So this is my Hakase GW15C. For those of you that don't know, Hakase is a Japanese fountain pen company that makes handmade fountain pens that are, I would say they're bespoke, or at least semi-bespoke. Now, GW15C is the model that I have here. GW stands for African ebony. So the cap and the barrel on this pen are solid African ebony. 15 denotes the nib. Has a pilot number 15 nib. This is the biggest nib that Hakase offers. And C signifies this design, basically the shape of this pen. Now, in terms of customization, they'll ask you if you want to post the cap on the back of the pen, and that kind of changes some of the dimensions of the back of the pen. I said I do want to post the pen, so this is designed to accommodate the cap, and it makes the barrel just a little bit shorter than if I had said, oh, I don't want to post the cap. When you order one of these, Hakase asks you how you hold the pen, where you hold the pen. They want to see pictures of you holding a fountain pen, and from that they'll customize the nib and the pen to you, supposedly. Now, I opted for a double broad cursive italic, so that's what I got here, and it is a very nice, very smooth, very thirsty and luxurious nib. Okay, the other thing I will mention is lead time on these pens, very long. Mine took just under 12 months. I believe the current lead time is 13 months, so you have to be willing to wait, but in my opinion, I think it is worth the wait. So, all right, let's walk through the pen. So again, this is the C style pen. We have a mostly straight top, but it kind of flutes out at the end, gets a little bit fatter here, and then rounds to kind of a dull point here. And then the main part of the barrel here is straight, and then it goes down into this narrower section where it again is straight. And here we can see it says 06-2021, so I believe that is the production month and year of the pen. I received this pen in June of this year, and I've been kind of using it nonstop since then. But basically, very simple, solid ebony pen. This roll stop here kind of has a pyramid shape, and then it's a hammered finish, and you can see it says very small, it says K14. So this is a solid 14 karat gold trim. It's not plated. They do offer some clips plated. They also have solid gold clips that are very short and go more full length. Those add quite a bit to the cost of the pen. You know, when I designed this pen, I wanted to have kind of the full Hakase experience without really overdoing it, and this is kind of what I settled on. This pen was 180,000 yen, which is a little over $1,600. So it's a very expensive pen, especially for something that is, you know, relatively simple. Now, it's a threaded cap, and it does post very nice, very smoothly, surprisingly smoothly onto the back of this body. It's really a perfect fit. Threading here, which is done in ebonite, and the grip section is this high gloss ebonite, and then we have another hammered solid 14 karat gold ring here. I believe the ebonite is easier to cut threads out of, or they're more durable, so that's why they do ebonite here. They also do pens in full ebonite, really pretty. They have two different celluloids. They're both a green jade color. Not my favorite looking celluloids, but they are interesting. The celluloid, I believe, is the cheapest material, followed by the ebonite. And then they also do horn, and they do some urushi covered either ebonite or wood. Those would be like the higher end options. So the wood is kind of the middle, but I think that's what really one of their specialties, and it is really a beautiful piece of wood. I specifically asked to get a darker, more black piece of ebony, and they did provide that for me, so it looks really, really nice. Now, looking at the nib here, so this is a Pilot number 15 nib, but you can see it says 1984, which is the year of Hakase's founding, and then you can see the Hakase logo, which are sort of two nibs side by side in a circle, and then it says 14 karat gold and 585. I cannot recall if they do an 18 karat gold nib. They do two-tone nibs. They also offer the number 10 nib from Pilot, and the large size sailor nib is also available. Not the King of Pen nib, but the sort of the full size, the large nib like you would get on a large professional gear or 1911. And with the pen, they give you a Con 70 converter, and they give you a cartridge in a kind of basic looking wood box. But anyway, so it takes Con 70 and it takes, standard Pilot cartridges. This pen is really thirsty, so I can go through one of these big Pilot cartridges pretty quickly. I'll just take this off here. Let's go ahead, and the threads are all done by, I don't know what the machine's called that he uses or they use, but it's like powered by like a foot pedal. It's very strange, very archaic looking machine, but the threading is really, really nice, really smooth, very, very nice. All right, let's go ahead and put this in there. We can do our writing sample later. Oh, I should just talk about the shape. So it's a kind of a little bit of an hourglass shape here on the grip section. The lowest point is kind of where this gold ring is, and then it flares out. So let's start with the measurements. So uncapped, we're looking at about 126, 127 millimeters, roughly 135, 136 millimeters, and then posted about 161, 162. So it's a very comfortable size pen. It's not too big, but it's a full-sized pen. The grip section is quite nice. At the narrowest part, looking at about 11.8, and then going back up here, 12.8. So it's a pretty fat grip section, very, very comfortable. Let's do the weight, and I did just put a full cartridge in there, so bear that in mind. 26.82 grams capped, and uncapped 18.9 grams. So not a heavy pen, but feels very nice in hand. The ebony really has a solid, dense feel to it. It really is a luxurious wood for sure. So let's do the writing sample. Now, I did just put the cartridge in this pen, and it goes to the nib almost right away, so should be pretty good. This is a Hakase, yep, it worked, GW15C, and this is a double broad cursive italic, and this is Pilot Black. Okay, we can try fast writing. Yep, so we do get some skipping with fast writing, not a big deal. For normal writing, it does keep up pretty nicely, and it's super smooth. I have a few different double broad cursive italics. I have a 1.3 millimeter Visconti stub. The difference between cursive and italic and stub is really nothing, honestly. Depending on who's doing the nib, they're really going to end up being the same thing. Regular italic is much sharper. For normal writing, I don't really have any issues with skipping, but it's a very wet nib, and when you push it like that, you do get skips. You get a decent amount of line variation from the cross stroke to the downstroke. Not a ton, but it does give your writing a little bit of flair. I have not tried reverse writing with this pen, but we can try it. It can kind of do it. It's actually not that scratchy. I'd say it can do it, and it does. It is quite a bit smaller. This nib is a Pilot 15 nib, so it's not really flexible. You can get a touch of variation out of it, but it's not really designed for that. I really love this nib. It's so smooth. It's probably one of my smoothest nibs, if not my smoothest nib. It's super nice. The ink flow is really quite good. It goes through these Pilot cartridges super fast. Since I've got this pen, I've been using it nonstop, and I've already gone through 3 cartridges in a month. So that's quite a lot, at least for me, when I have, 20 different pens inked at the same time. Anyway, that's the writing sample for the Hakase GW15C. So what are my pros and cons for the Hakase GW15C? Well, definitely I like that it's sort of a semi-bespoke pen in the way that I get to tell them what kind of nib I want. They look at the way that I hold the pen at my desk. They look at the writing sample that I submit and customize the nib to my preferences. That is really nice. I also get to customize the design a little bit by deciding what length I want, whether I'm going to post the pen or not post the pen. It's a nice sort of semi-bespoke experience ordering one of these pens and having it customized to my tastes. The other pro, of course, is the build quality. The threading on this pen is really, really nice. Everything fits together perfectly. It is a really, really nice quality pen, especially for something that is handmade. For everything to fit together this nicely is really excellent. Other pros, it writes really, really nicely. I absolutely love the nib on this pen. They did a great job customizing it for me. I like the materials. I like the ebony wood. I like the ebonite grip section and the hammered solid gold trim. It's very, very nice. Now, in terms of cons, the price, of course, 180,000 yen is very expensive. It's a little over 1,600 US dollars. Lead time, mine took a little bit less than a year to get. The current lead time, I think, is a bit over a year. So there's a huge waiting period. You can't have one right away. I think that is pretty much it. Do you guys have a Hakase? Do you like Hakase pens? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.